Hello and welcome to Reps2GOG. Today, we're going to be talking about Fontavision, a lightweight animation program for the Apple II. We're doing the same name bit again? Fontavision is a strange little puzzle game for the PS2 released by none other than the big man upstairs. And by that I mean Sony. It was actually not ever meant to be a game, but rather it was supposed to be a tech demo displaying the particle capabilities of the PlayStation 2. And what better way to do that than to make a puzzle game prominently featuring fireworks and laden with various visualization options. Fontavision has you assume the role of this little circle right here. You see that little map down there? You want to get to the end of each stage without running out of energy. How do you lose energy, you ask? Well, these little flares will pop up into the screen in sets of 4. If you don't capture them in sets of 3 or more of the same color and detonate them, your energy bar will deplete. This may lead you to believe that the mogul move is to pop off as many 3 chains as you can to make sure you're not missing any. This may work for a while, but you're going to find yourself missing flares and eventually just losing. There are a few things I didn't realize upon jumping right into the game. Firstly, if you have a flare held, it takes a really long time for it to fizzle out. You have plenty of time to work towards getting a bigger chain. Secondly, these cool little colorless flares can extend your chain into another color. For example, say you've got these 2 red flares held, and the third flare you grab is a colorless one. You are now free to grab another color that's not red, so you can hop into green or blue and make a 6 link rather than a 3 link. Once you pop the flares, they'll explode, and depending on what type of flare it was, particles will fly out in certain directions. If those particles touch a flare of the same color, they'll instantly detonate that flare. As you detonate flares, there's a certain chance for items to spawn. These act similarly to colorless flares, save that they'll give you an effect when you pop them as well. The E will give you a small amount of energy back, the B will give you bonus points for a certain amount of time, and the S will fill up a letter on your star mine meter. Once the star mine meter fills up, a star mine flare will pop out and you'll be able to detonate to activate the star mine. Star mines are just a rapid fire clusterfuck of flares being sent up. These are really easy because the fireworks will just set each other off for the most part. This allows for a brief moment of respite since you won't really have to think too fast in this little bonus area. It seems like you'll pretty consistently get 2 star mines per stage, one towards the middle and one towards the end. That respite is generally greeted with a sigh of relief because Fontavision moves at a pretty fast pace. If you're not thinking on your heels, you're going to get overwhelmed and flat out lose. Everything I've mentioned here culminates into a wholly cerebral experience. It has just enough moving parts to tickle my brain when I play it, and it doesn't shy away from being a test of skill either. With that in mind, Fontavision's gameplay is not without its flaws. While it controls fine, using the left stick to aim and the cross button to detonate, there are certain parts where you'll aim at a flare and hit the one in front of it, which really throws a hitch in an otherwise fast game. I also wish the item flares didn't work as similarly to the colorless flares as they do. It really undermines the utility of the colorless flares, or rather it provides too much utility to the item flares. I think they should have at least removed some of the items, such as the energy item or the bonus score item from the hard mode. Oh yeah, speaking of hard mode, there's a hard mode in the game. It's pretty much the same as normal mode, except your energy bar depletes faster if you miss a flare. The problem with this is that it's not really an interesting spike in difficulty. If you've already mastered normal mode, you shouldn't really be missing too many flares at this point. The backgrounds in this game are pretty cool. There's always things rendered on screen and moving around. If you have a few seconds to look around while playing, it surely is a treat. Like, look at all these moving parts. Cars driving by, flashing spotlights, an elevator moving up and down. There's so much to look at, and this is just the first level. Eventually you'll be greeted by asteroids and wormholes and all sorts of cool stuff. By the way, did you know this game has a story? Well, it kinda does. There are these weird FMVs. They feature children prominently, and there's a scientist. Alright, look, just don't show me children, like, ever. They're creepy, they make me uncomfortable, they're disgusting little gremlins. Whatever the story is meant to be, it's mostly displayed by non-voiced scenes where these children in this retro future setting call each other and look out windows. And I get it right. You show me a scene and now I know this game is family friendly. I mean, look at this family. They're so happy. They've got a PS2, they've got some red flowers, and these 2 demons spawn. Regardless, there are a few other modes, such as the 2-player mode. It splits your screen in half vertically and forces you to play head-to-head against your opponent. The goal is to get a predetermined amount of flares detonated before your opponent does. This game mode also features new special flares, such as this one that flips the screen, or this one that pushes the vertical barrier towards your opponent so they have less space to work with. This looks really fun, and the more I make videos, the more I realize I need to get someone in real life who can record split-screen footage with me. Replay mode allows you to watch your gameplay and add certain effects to it. This is pretty cool. It also shows that these particle effects are in a 3D space, which you might not have been able to tell from the core gameplay. You also unlock extra modes by beating normal and hard mode. The extra menu unlocked once you beat normal mode has 3 features. Chain attack, where your goal is to chain together as many detonations as possible within the stage. Ultra play movie, a demo which is supposed to show you how to get big chains, and ranking, which allows you to look at your high scores. Once you defeat hard mode, you'll unlock Extra 2, a menu with even more stuff in it. Ultra Play Movie 2 Electric Boogaloo is another demo that shows you how to get a 300 chain. Screensaver is a customizable screensaver, and Fireworks allows you to launch fireworks with your controller. You also unlock Digital Control, which allows you to play the game with your D-pad. I have no idea why you'd want to do that, but okay. These unlockables are weird. The screensaver mode includes 999 separate recorded fireworks shows and 8 separate variations of said fireworks shows. This means that there are 7,992 separate configurations, all of which I assume were hand recorded in firework mode by some poor unfortunate dev. Also, I want to know who's using this screensaver feature. I guess it would have to be the same people who would throw on the visualizer on their copy of Windows Media Player or something like that. You'll notice that I didn't really talk too much about the fact that this game was originally a tech demo. This is because I just don't have the knowledge to unpack that, and I'm willing to admit that. I'm not a game dev, I just play the video game. If I were to guess what they were trying to show off, it'd probably be something like, look how many particles we can put on the screen while having these fully rendered backgrounds without slowdown. Also, check out how particles can interact with normal objects. If you're a game dev and possibly have the answer, let me know in the comments, because I am genuinely curious. Lastly, I'd like to mention the music. Fantavision's American release got its own soundtrack. It was composed by Ashif Hakik of Tomba 2 and Sly Cooper fame. It's filled with very nice electronic music that really enhanced my gameplay experience. I feel that each track really captured the theme of each stage very well. After writing the script, I reached out to Ashif Hakik to talk about the OST for Fantavision. He noted that he only had 2 weeks to put out the entire soundtrack. There's going to be an interview coming out with this video where he talks about all his work on Fantavision, Sly Cooper, and Crash Nitro Kart, as well as a few other games. Check that out if it sounds interesting to you. I call Fantavision strange because I've never played a puzzle game like this. I can draw parallels to other puzzle games all day, but this game has something that I just don't get from the others. It's got the depth I want, it's got the speed I want, and honestly the firework motif makes everything feel so much more rewarding because my brain is deemed that things exploding and flashing colorfully excites me. You should check out this game, full stop, especially if you have friends that get competitive about things because the couch multiplayer seems real fucking good. It's literally like $5 on eBay and you can buy it on your PS4 for like $10. The Reps 2 GOG Resort has gained 13 new members since my last video. If you want to come hang out, check the Discord link in the description. If you'd like to hear my inane ramblings as well as keep up with releases, you can check out my Twitter at www.twitter.com/nulltoxicity. Thank you all for watching and have a great day.